Today we are going to learn about the artistic technique of stenciling, and you are going to create your own stenciled artwork on a wooden panel that you can hang at home. A stencil usually consists of a piece of plastic, cardboard, metal, or another thin material that has images, letters, or words cut out of it. To use a stencil, you attach it to your base surface and then brush, sponge, or spray paint through the cutout. When you remove the stencil, you are left with a uniform design with clean edges that can be repeated over and over again. The use of stencils dates back over 40,000 years, as evident in Indonesian and Argentinian cave art. It is thought that prehistoric humans would use their hand as a stencil and place it against a cave wall. Then they would blow finely crushed pigment around it, leaving the shape of their hand permanently recorded on the cave wall. Archaeologists have found evidence of stenciling in almost all ancient cultures, including Egypt, medieval Europe, and ancient Japan. Today, stencils are used for a wide variety of purposes: decorating walls, making signs, and painting bright instructions and traffic warnings on roads. In our own community, you can find a family-owned business called Board and Brush, where both adults and children can go and make their own stenciling wood projects. We were able to visit with one of the owners, Nicole Gilchrist, who invited us in and shared about their sign-making business.
So 2 years ago, we went to a Board and Brush in Cedar Park for my birthday and just had a blast. We thought it was really fun. We thought Dripping Springs could use this really cool thing to do, and we had our grand opening a year later.
Then one of our art team members, Erin, demonstrated a stenciling project for us. First, she distressed the wood a little bit to make it look older and more interesting. Then she wiped on a dark walnut stain to give the wood a nice color. Next, she carefully attached and centered a thin vinyl stencil to the wood. Then came the actual stenciling part. She brushed on white paint over the stencil. You can see that she is dabbing the paint on and not wiping or swiping it on, which would cause the paint to spread under the stencil. Finally, Erin carefully removed the stencil to reveal the finished sign. Didn't it turn out great?
Hi, I'm Melissa Krish, and I'm the studio manager here at Dripping Springs Board and Brush. And I think stenciling is a great universal art for everybody because you can come in and you have the outline of what you need to do, but you can still put your own creative twist on it. And it's great for people like me who have an art degree, not so much in painting, but I still get to express myself in a creative way.
Thank you so much to Board and Brush for welcoming us in and teaching us about stenciling. And now we are going to create our own wooden stencil art that you can take home and hang on your wall. Let's get started. Step 1. We are going to thread some twine through the board to hang it on the wall. Start by tying a thick double knot on one side of your twine and pull it through your first hole. Step 2. Thread the other end of the twine through the second hole and tie another double knot to secure the twine. If you need help with tying your twine, feel free to ask a volunteer. Step 3. Decide which side of your board you want to be the front and stick a label on the back. Use a pencil to add your name to the label. Step 4. Take the stencil that has been given to you and center it on your wood. Try to make sure that all of the paintable shape is over the wood. Add 2 small pieces of tape to either side of your stencil to anchor it on the wood. This will help it to stay in place while you are adding paint. If your stencil shifts around when you are painting, your image will not be clearly defined. Step 5. Now it is time to paint. Add a small amount of paint to your sponge brush. Dab off any excess paint on your paper towel. Step 6. To add color to your stencil, dab the paint sponge up and down on your stencil. You don't want to swipe or brush side to side, or else you might get paint under your stencil. As they say at Board and Brush, and as Dora the Explorer says, swiper no swiping, only dabbing. Step 7. If you want to use multiple colors in your image, make sure you change sponge brushes each time you change colors. Try to choose a sponge brush that already has the color on it that you will be using. You can play around with blending colors into each other, or you can stick with one color on each section of your stencil. Step 8. After you have completely filled in your stencil with paint, carefully remove the tape and the stencil from your board to reveal your finished stenciling project. Step 9. Use a wipe to clean all of the paint off of your stencil so that the next class can use it. Step 10. Enjoy your finished stencil project at home, and be sure to check out Board and Brush if you have discovered that you love working with wood and stencils.
So our typical workshops are 16 and older, but 1 to 2 Sundays a month we do family friendlies where the younger kids can come in and do a smaller project more suited to them.
And then we're also available to do private birthday parties, usually 8 and older, and we do them anytime on the weekends.